Shalom. Call Elohim Layah Bashim Yahshua Bashim Ruchak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great Muslim who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect tabernacle of David's got the four corners of the earth. Now, can I say I'm surprised? Am I shocked? No, I'm not. I'm not surprised. All right, this devil's doing exactly what he's sent down here to do, and that was to be the devil. All right, as it says in Jeremiah, the 13th chapter, around the 23rd verse. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? So are they accustomed to do good that are accustomed to evil. So we do not expect Esau to do the right thing. All right. Uh, justice, we do not expect from the devil. All right. Now, when it comes to his own, justice is for all. But, when we used to say that, pledging an allegiance, that was in regards to Esau. That had nothing to do with you, Jake. All right. That had nothing to do with you, Jakes. You're still considered 3/5 of a human according to his constitution. So anyway, I'm pretty sure y'all didn't, got the reports, the news. This Jake Amir Locke, we know 2 months ago, they this was in Minneapolis, and those officers, they actually went into this his home, his apartment, and it was on a no knock raid, in which was Cole was that 6 months after that whole George Floyd situation, the 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 the, the police department in Minneapolis, they updated a policy where they were no longer going to do no knock uh raids or no knock warrants, but they bypassed that, didn't care, and barged into his apartment while he's sleeping on his couch. And what did they do? They went in there and they lit him up, because he happened to be laying there with his gun on him. And it's like, I mean, what the hell, is he supposed to do? You act like sleeping with a gun is an issue when somebody can try to run up in your home and murder you just like they just did. But, you know, we don't expect Esau to be reasonable when it comes to these type of situations. All right. You're gonna have a few Edomites on the left, the leftist progressive side that always act like, they're with Jake and they feel for us when we get oppressed and all that. That's all bullshit. Because they'll stand in solidarity with you as long as you are degenerate. You with the Rainbow Coalition, the Alphabet Mafia, whatever you want to call them. You know, that's when they'll get behind you. But when you stand, on your square as a man, and you have principles and morals, they hate you. But we're gonna see what the outroar, the outcry is gonna be. Now that this is made known, made public now. All right, is Jay gonna be on some hypocritical shit and go out there and cry and scream, no justice, no peace, and all this other shit? Well, Black Lives Matter, you just found out that Black Lives Matter don't really give a damn about so-called black lives. Them three women that were at the head of that movement, they pretty much sold you out. Became millionaires, got all that money, off of your miseries, and now they living it up, man. Toasting champagne glasses right at their mansions, $6 million homes. But this is what happens, man. You know, what shows you that this place is definitely not our place of rest, as it is written. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, for it is greatly polluted. It will destroy you even with a sword of destruction. All right, we were not brought over here to be at ease. All right, we're still under the curse, man. All right. So I'll play this report, and then we'll get a couple scriptures and close out. Like I said, I'm not surprised at all, man. The devil's doing what he's supposed to do. So let's listen.
An update on the Amir Locke shooting. There are no charges going to be filed against the Minneapolis police officer. You might remember this one here because the Hennepin County Attorney's Office, with the assistance from Attorney General Keith Ellison, has declined to bring charges against the Minneapolis police officer who shot and killed Amir Locke while serving a no-knock search warrant back in February. Hard to believe it was just only February with that one. Mike Freeman, the Hennepin County attorney, wrote that there is insufficient admissible evidence to file criminal charges in the case. Specifically, the state would be unable to disprove beyond a reasonable doubt any of the elements of Minnesota's use of deadly force statute that authorizes the use of force by the officer, nor would the state be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt a criminal charge against any other officer involved in the decision making that led to the death of Amir Locke there. Just before 7 a.m. on Wednesday, February 2nd, the Minneapolis SWAT team entered apartment 701 in downtown Minneapolis to execute a no-knock search warrant in connection with a January murder back in St. Paul. According to the Minneapolis Police Department incident report, the SWAT team went to two apartments on the 14th floor before entering the unit on the 7th and loudly announcing their presence. The police department says about 9 seconds into the entry, they encountered a man holding a handgun pointed in the direction of officers. The police officer, a member of...
I mean, and the way they worded, there's like they're gonna this man he can't help himself, man. Like I said, could you blame Jake? He's in his own setting, he's in his own home, and somebody just barge in his residence while he's sleeping with guns. What was he supposed to do? But they got to find a way to justify the cops. See, but that's what the scriptures tell you: whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. When they kill a Jake, they don't feel that they've killed a human. That's just how it's always been. Zechariah 11 verse 5, it says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not. And hey, that goes to these the guys like what's his name? What's that mumble mouth? I call him a mumble mouth Crump, Benjamin Crump, that demon, that bald, smooth face, uh, kidney bean head fucking attorney that always gotta, as soon as when Jake dies and he gets on camera and he gets national coverage, he goes and represent that family to try to get some settlement money. So they really don't care about you, Jakes, when you die. They just like to capitalize, off of the aftermath. You know, because Jake is wicked like that, man. But our possessors is our enemies, our adversaries, Esau, because he's the ruler, and they slay us, and they never hold themselves guilty. All right. See, Jake got all happy with the Derek Chauvin trial and how um they actually indicted his ass and he got time, and Jake thought that was a victory. But how many situations like that happens on a daily basis? How many Jakes get killed on a daily basis by these people, man? And it's been happening for so long. So that wasn't a real win, even though Jake thought that that they won, that it was a victory. But for every Derek Chauvin situation, you got a lot of these where they're justified slaying Jake. We know ultimately the Most High, he brought the judgment down on this Jake. As it's written, Job 4:7, whoever perished being innocent or will with a righteous cut off. Clearly he wasn't right. for him to go out in that fashion, but it still remains to see that this devil, he's very cruel, and he never ceases to use the opportunity to show that he hates you. He hates your very existence. All right. So he doesn't hold himself guilty at all when he slays you, because he doesn't see you, as a human. All right. But as the scriptures say, you know, dealing with murder, was it in Numbers? I'm trying to think of where the scripture is at. See if I could find it. Let me go to Numbers 31. I'm not sure if it's in that chapter. Nah, that's going into the slaughter of the Midianites. Um, Numbers 35. Here we go. It's Numbers 35 and verse 16. It says, "And if he smite him with an instrument of iron, so that he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death." And that's real justice. If you murder a man in cold blood, and the man, there was no just cause for him dying or for you to put him to death, then that's murder. And these devils, they get away with murder all the time. You see, verse 17, "And if he smite him with a throwing stone, wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall be surely put to death. Or if he smite him with a hand weapon of wood, wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. The revenger of blood himself shall slay the murderer, and when he meeteth him, he shall slay him." And it's all right, man, because all his blood that Esau spilt over the years since we've been brought over here, he's gonna have to account for that blood. He has a heavy tab of blood. All right, he has a receipt. All right, that can if you just stretch the receipt out and stand up, you have to go into outer space in order to hold the receipt up. All right, written and it's nothing but blood. All the shit you did is written in blood, man, on that receipt. So that day is coming, man. Numbers 35 and 33, and it says, "So shall you not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." And Esau, you are a major shedder of blood. Are you of your father Cain? And Cain, he was the first murderer. And matter of fact, when we go into that, after he murdered his brother, what did his brother do? What did Abel do? He went back to the spiritual realm and he complained. So every time a Jake gets put to death, especially by a devil, he goes up to the heavenly Father and he complains. He wants to he wants the Lord to avenge him. Genesis 4, and verse 4 says, "And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell." Because he can never do right. He can never do right. And the Lord said unto Cain, "Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?" Now you got the nerve to be upset when you the one that's in the wrong. And Jake, well, not Jake, Esau. He's good at being a he's good at being a victim villain. He's very professional when it comes to being a victim villain. You're the perpetrator. You're the one that do the evil, but then you know how to make yourself become a victim. And now you need, uh, uh, you know, you need empathy. You want everybody to sympathize with you, right? It says, if thou doest well, thou shalt be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And the Lord already knew, because right when he slew him, his spirit went up straight to the Father, as it is written, the spirit goeth upward. All right, your body goes back into the ground, and the spirit goes back to him who gave it, the Most High. So immediately the Lord was like, where your brother at? The Lord already knew what would just happen, but he's testing Cain to see what he's gonna say, and you're gonna see him show clearly that he's just a straight devil. It says, and he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And it had the nerve to get smart with the Most High. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. All right. In other words, he went up to the spiritual realm and he complained to the Most High what his brother just did to him. You see? So just imagine, all throughout all these years of this devil just slaying Jake left and right, all those Israelite souls crying up to the Most High. This is why you devils, man, you gonna have it the worst. And this is why the judgment, the impending judgment, is gonna be that much great. It tells you that in I believe it's in Isaiah, that the earth is gonna disclose her blood. You see? Let's get Ezekiel 35. And it says, Ezekiel 35:1, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, right? It never stopped. Since Cain, it never stopped, man. And that's that hostility that the Lord said he will put between the seed and the seed of the woman and of the serpent. All right. It was always going to be continual, perpetual, generation after generation. It says, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Says thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right, and that's why the patience and the faith of the saints is that what? He that killed with the sword must be killed by the sword. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, man. I said it backwards, but still the same thing. What you've done unto us shall be done unto you. So that reckoning is definitely gonna come. And yeah, Jake had it coming. It was judgment, and the Lord used you devils to carry that judgment against him. But you ain't off the hook. All right? It's about time for you to drink of the cup. Jeremiah 49 and verse 12. And it says, For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. All right, and What was the cup that we drank? Everything that we suffered at your hands, that was the cup we drank. So guess what? You're gonna have to chug it down now. And that's getting ready to happen. Slowly but surely, your kingdom is waning, is declining. You're losing power, you're losing dominance. Everybody's coming up against you. You're divided. All we're waiting on is, for you to do what you're gonna do. You're gonna come down with your great wrath. All right, you're gonna persecute the men of the Lord. You're gonna put some of us in the prisons. You're gonna make everybody try to take that charagma, all right, and have people bow down to your new world order beast slave digital tyrannical system. And the Lord's gonna come down and he's gonna tear shit up. He gonna steamroll you. And then he gonna let the missiles from Russia and all their allies finish you off. Then you're gonna wake up in torments. You're gonna open up your eyes in torments. All right? Like that parable of Lazarus and the rich man. You're gonna go right into captivity and you're gonna suffer, man. Straight up. So, we're not surprised that, what you're gonna do. All right. You've been the same devil from the get-go. Okay. So ultimately, we just gotta wait on the Most High, Yahweh Shai. Shai. He's the one that ultimately executes judgment and justice in the earth. He's gonna come down and he's gonna do it. He's gonna come and break the break in pieces the oppressor. All right. He said, I will not at all acquit the wicked. Let me get that. Nahum 1 and 3. You're not gonna be exonerated. In Nahum 1 and 3, it says, the Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord have his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and in the clouds are the dust of his feet. So you ain't gonna get away, man. He's not gonna acquit you. All right, though you hold yourself not guilty. Okay? The ultimate judge is gonna come and he's gonna plead on behalf of Israel. So I just want to respond to that. All right, mere lock shooting, no charges against officer. Yeah, no surprise, man. This is what we expect. This is what you're supposed to expect the devil to be the devil, man. All right. This is how the devil operates. But it's also gonna be used to rouse you Jakes up, man. All that marching and Black Lives Matter, that shit should be over with by now. So anyway, call Lawyer Al Bashmi Al Shai to the next lesson, Shalom.